You know how when you're playing a video game, there is this main quest to go and defeat the big boss at the very end. And along the way, you've got side quests that pop up. Some farmer will show up and ask you to help him find his lost goat. And sometimes a side quest spawns a side quest. Like the farmer's wife, once the goat has been found, asks you to help turn the milk into cheese so they can sell it at the village market and the family won't starve to death over the winter. Well, when it comes to my most recent research rabbit hole, the side quest became the main quest. How did this happen, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. As you know, I've been researching the American Revolution, specifically the lead up to it, specifically what was going on in Boston in 1774 and early 1775. And to explain the reason for that, I have to back up all the way to 2012. Way back then, I had intentions to enter a short story in a romance anthology contest. The one thing your story had to do was somehow incorporate numbers. So I got this idea that I was going to have a British soldier be billeted at a specific address in Boston and then fall in love with the patriot daughter of the house. And that's about as far as I got in terms of connecting anything to the story prompt. Because I wanted the hero to actually be part of a real regiment that was in Boston in 1774, 1775. I just Googled which regiments were in Boston in that time period. And sort of at random, I chose the 18th Regiment of Foot, specifically the Grenadier Company. That was the story I tried to resurrect earlier this year. And as we already know, that didn't happen because I researched myself out of a short story. Here's where the side quest comes in. If you will remember, one of the side quests I had was to locate access or get access to a particular resource that was about the 18th Regiment of Foot. I did mention that I was able to find it on EBSCO, and then I was able to find another article by the same guy on JSTOR, which gave me a little more information. Because in case you haven't figured it out by now, I really like to be accurate when I'm writing anything having to do with history. That JSTOR article had a footnote and a reference to an orderly book for the 18th Regiment of Foot for the literal time frame that my story is set. So the side quest was, can I get access to this orderly book? The internet took me to the National Army Museum in London, where this orderly book is sitting on microfilm, but it hadn't been digitized when the National Army Museum was going through and digitizing the majority of their microfilms. I have literally gone back and forth with one of the archivists there, a lovely lady named Daisy. She's been fantastic and so helpful. She pointed me to the British Library. The only thing that the British Library still held was record of a 1976 auction by Sotheby's of this manuscript, July 1976, the freaking bicentennial. Let me explain what an orderly book is. A regimental orderly book is all of the daily orders, assignments, watchword, basically what the garrison across the board was supposed to be doing on a given day in Boston, plus specifics about how that regiment was implementing things. And this microfilm over at National Army Museum is the sole remaining copy of this thing following the Sotheby's auction. It's 250 pages long. This is a gold mine. So I circled back to Daisy at the National Army Museum, who informed me, sadly, yes, they have it, but after digitizing the majority of their microfilm collection, they got rid of their microfilm readers. So even if I was able to contract with an independent researcher who's based in London, no one can actually access this thing because there's no way to view it. So I can't help the farmer's wife make the goat cheese so that the family won't starve over the winter. Now, I'll be honest, I don't need to see this orderly book, but it would be really, really awesome if I could. So yeah, that was a disappointing end to the rabbit hole. But what are you going to do?